sickness, from an infirmity that had attacked his body. And not even just delivered him, he made him whole. And then from that, he even increased his life. He gave him more years to his life. Why? Because he was a faithful man. And he trusts in God. When you trust in God, the things that you ask for, God will add to that. Like, well, God, I only needed $500 to pay this bill, but you done gave me an extra $200 and I can go do whatever I want. But God will increase. His life was on the line. What did he do? He increased his life. Your bills was on the line. He gave you enough to pay for your bills and enough to go out to eat and enough to buy the kids some shoes and enough to go do whatever. God will increase your life. God will increase your finances. God will increase whatever it is that you're searching for. As long as you trust Him. I'm here to jump in the Jordan. That's nasty. That's dirty and filthy. Can I go over here? They have better water over there than Grand Blanc. Can I go to Grand Blanc? I'll even say Beecher water. They got better water than Beecher. Now I'm saying I won't even go bathe there. But this man, he was like, no. So when Naaman heard this, he became angry and walked away. I thought he would certainly come out to me. He said, I expected him to wave his hand over the leprosy and call on the name of the Lord, his God, to heal me. God works the way He wants to work. Amen. God delivers and saves the way that how I got saved and delivered is not going to be the same way that God saved and delivered you. Whatever situation you went through might not be the same situation I went through, but somehow God delivered you from your situation. But the thing is, you have to trust in Him to deliver you from your situation. He said, aren't the rivers of Damascus and Abana and the Pharpar better than the rivers of Israel? Why should I wash in them and be healed? So Naaman turned and went away in rage. He was upset. Have you ever been upset when God said, I'll deliver you from this, but you got to do this? I don't want to do that to get delivered. Like, why I got to get at him? Why I got to let that go? Why I got to do it that way? Well, forget it then. I guess I won't be delivered. I guess I won't be made whole. I guess I won't be set free. This is what he think. I guess I ain't gonna be made whole, and I'm just gonna be a leper. I'm just gonna go my way. But his officers tried to reason with him and said, Sir, if the prophet had told you to do something very difficult, wouldn't you have done it? So you should certainly obey him when he says, simply go and wash yourself 7 times. As the man of God has instructed him. And it's what he did. So he ended up doing it. He probably was like, oh man, I gotta go do this. I can just see it. Like, I can see myself doing it. Like, I guess I'm gonna jump off this bridge 7 times and get healed. Like, that's how he was. He's like, but he did it anyway. And his skin was as a young child, and he was healed. So we want to think about some deliverance, right? When you go through a situation we need to be delivered from, we got to think about what deliverance is. Deliverance is, I looked up the definition, the deliverance is the act of being rescued or set free. What do you need to be delivered from? What do you need to be set free from? What circumstances and situations got you bound? What sickness and illness got you so bound up that you need to be set free from? It's liberation, release, delivery, discharge, rescue, emancipation. Here's what the dictionary says. Salvation, bailout. 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 It says the act of delivering someone or something. The state of being delivered. Especially liberation. Especially liberation. Something delivered, especially an opinion or a decision. To be delivered, you have to make a choice that you want to be delivered from something. See, Naaman had to make a choice. Am I going to be delivered? Am I going to be healed? Or I'm just going to walk around and do it? Am I going to do it the way God wants it done? Or am I going to try to do it my way? Are you going to try to do it your way, or are you going to do it God's way? Because when you do it your way, the situation can be dire for you. Let's take a time. Let's think about the children of Israel for a minute. God sent them the deliverer. That's what they called Moses. So He got the people out from captivity, got the people out from bondage, got the people out from slavery, and they doing what they supposed to do. They walking, they got tired. Have you ever been through a situation and you get this, like they said earlier, deliverance is a process. Some deliverance is immediate, but some deliverance is a process. So they had to go through the process of being delivered, walking through the desert. It could have took them 4 days. It could have took them 40 days. It could have took them 4 hours to get to where they had to go. But while they was doing all this, getting delivered, going through their transformation and everything, guess what they was doing? They was complaining. They was being rebellious towards God. They was trying to do things their way. Come on, and they complaining. So when God is taking you through your deliverance, when God is taking you to another level and dimension, what are you doing? Are you complaining? Are you arguing back and forth with God? Are you telling him what you're going to do and what you're not going to do? What are you doing? How do you expect God to deliver you from something when you really don't want to be delivered? You want to be delivered at that moment, but you want to go back to it the next second. God wants to deliver you from something. When God takes you from something, he wants you to keep going forward from that. Don't look back at it. That's what the people of Israel was doing. They was walking through the desert, and they walking and walking. But I remember back when we was in slavery, we had water, we had this, and we had that. Well, God said, well, you know, you my people, I love you. I'm just going to let this manna fall from heaven. Who does that? God, like, no man can do that. Like, so you're going to see that steady moaning and complaining in God's face about what all the things that he's doing for you, and you steady longing for back home. You steady longing. How can God fix you up and get you to a place where you need to be if you steady looking back at the situation that had you in bondage? It's just like you driving a car and God going this way, but you on your knees trying to drive it with your foot looking back at what you've been through. What that's going to do, you will end up in a crash. You will end up in a wreck. Because your deliverance is here. Your destination is here. You can't keep dibbling dabbling in your past when God got you in the present and he's trying to take you to your future. How can you go forward in your deliverance when you can't let that alone?